B side with that AWP. Right now, you know, DC just with a full AK stack as well, that is quite deadly. Being that they push already, the bomb going up second mid, that's the intention. I can guarantee you they will be breaching A.
Yeah. And this time we see APG getting control of Banana. Panda, once again, we saw him doing this last time. He gets aggressive in the middle. He's got himself 2 kills this time, but that's cost in the A side. That leaves the A side open. And are DC going to take advantage of this? It's going to have to be up to MBR to hold this. If he gets taken down, that's the side's open, and he does. And the bomb's there. Another bomb's going to go down. APG, as much as that aggression worked for them, they've just been punished for it. And a lot of equipment on the side of DC. They've got a smoke still, a flash, 2 flashes, grenades. And that can do a lot of work to keep APG at bay. We have got 2 kits among the 3 players. Explicit, he's going to have to come up pretty big to hold to the side. Panda comes around, he gets a dink. Devoid with that AWP, making it work. Instant going to go down to that grenade. And now it's all up to Hellhound on 19 HP. He gets himself 1, but that's all she's saying. And APG, great retake by them.
Well, yeah, very
Shouldn't
good
have
retake.
happened though. Shouldn't have been necessary.
Well, that's the thing, correct. The retake shouldn't have been necessary because they did play quite aggressive down B side. That is informing them quite a bit of it, well, giving them quite a bit of information. What's next? Mid side. Oh wait, they got a player going down mid. What's next? Second mid. So then let the rotations start to push through. We see another AWP in the hands of Devoid. I want to see if he will use it in the B side a little bit more aggressively. DC though, at this moment in time, I don't think they're too concerned.
No,
because,
not at all.
You know, they got 9 rounds.
Not at all. I completely agree with you there. And if DC get this round, it's just a bonus. It's not. They don't need it. APG desperately need this round.
Well, they got 5, so 5 is a defendable or an attackable total. Not the most ideal attackable.
Not the most ideal, but it's doable.
Yeah, exactly.
Now setting up for this A push once again, 4 players in A. APG, none to the wiser, still have 2 players on D. And Gambit smells the snake here. MBR, is he going to be able to find the frag? Yes, he is. And now there's only 2 players left. Panda's going to have to come out very, very big here. Can he spot them out? He gets 1, and that's the bomb. Can the rotations come out here from APG? Finally, there's still 1 player on B. Not sure what he's waiting for. The bomb has been spotted out here. Panda doing pretty well. He's found himself 2 to the round. Can he get anything more? He's playing these angles so well, but now he's starting to get sandwiched. He gets 1, but then he gets taken down. Another bomb on side. Instant doing extreme well. He gets himself 1. Dom chiming in, and he gets himself 1 onto Instant. And Explicit is going to have to catch this in a 1 versus 2, and it'll be an ace as he's already found 3 kills for the round. Void with that AWP. He smokes himself off. Quite interesting. Dom with that AK. Felt really well. Great play there by Dom. He's had a really good half, and I think he's really the shining light at the moment. Well, I say that, he's got 9 frags. Panda is actually the shining light at the moment for APG. He's got 17 kills. He's actually having an extremely good LAN at the moment. He did very, very well against Tackle Gaming. And once again, showing his worth here on this map of Inferno, which we have got a 9-6 half on our hands here. DC coming off of an Inferno side, off of a T side, and Inferno going into CT are going to be extremely happy.
Right, so DC will be happy, yes, but I don't think APG is too concerned about 6 rounds of CT.
If they take the pistol. The pistol is extremely important for them.
In this case, yes, I completely agree with you.
Because this will take them to a 9-9.
Anything 9-6 or 10-5, that's where the... Whoa, look at that little sneak shot there from Style. Takes down Turtle. Good start here for damage control. Although quite low on the HP, so you see that bomb moving towards the B side slowly. There's a couple of T side players just kind of lurking in that banana. I think it's really all dependent breach play right now. We do see that BR has got a smoke grenade, flash, and HE, so he's gonna have to use it carefully. Smoke up now on the entrance now, so chances of them actually breaching through, well, not unlikely, but it's going to happen. Nice little play here from Domster. MBR picking up another one here, so the B side is open. Very slow rotations happening. Will go down, and this is what APG needed.
This is extreme. That's exactly right. And there is a kit on the side of DC, but they're going to need a lot more than that. They're first going to have to find the frags. Although Explicit doing really well. He gets panned down to 6 HP, and there's a flash left on Style. I'm sure he'll try and get that off before he dies. MBR does bring Style down. Dom gets Hellhound, and now it's all down to Explicit, who stands in a crossfire of 3 players. And APG take the pistol. This is doable.
Yeah, exactly.
This is definitely doable for APG. Suddenly, things don't look so grim for them all of a sudden. And
It wouldn't, no, yeah.
And now they're going to grab a few SMGs, build up their economy, and wait for that 19th round, which will be the first buy round.
Yeah, look, I mean, economies are not the highest at the moment because it is the second round. So we're going to see a couple of SMGs come out and a Galil. The kind of standard eco buy.
Yeah, and DC not investing a single cent in this round. No grenades, no upgraded pistols or armor or anything along those lines. And Turtle taking complete advantage as well as Dom with that Mac 10, both finding frags, Devoid getting himself one. And it's all up to Instant and Style to try and do some damage. Dom finding himself a second, and these kills that you feed these SMGs are really, it adds up.
Oh, don't you get a little bit of extra cash?
Definitely, yeah. That's
So-
exactly it. That's what I'm saying. It's if you
Tops
kill
off
after
the
kill,
finances.
definitely. But have a look at what DC have adopted here. Lose the first 2, completely save in the second, and go for a famous armor buy in the third round.
That's dangerous.
I don't think
Unexpected.
APG gonna expect this.
Exactly.
They've still
Very-
kept their SMGs and their Galils. They haven't
Very
upgraded
clever
anything.
buy.
DC can catch them off guard. This is an extremely clever play. The in-game leader, I'm not sure who leads for DC.
Style.
Is it Style? So
No,
Style.
no, no. Actually, I think Instant will probably be the new leader.
Oh, really?
Most likely.
Okay.
Look, this is something I haven't seen DC play before. So I haven't seen many teams play this type of strat. You know, this third round lost by.
Yeah. But on a map like Inferno, it's definitely a viable strategy.
course,
On
yeah.
especially on a map like Inferno.
But they need to be very defensive. They can't be aggressive in this case. The reason why I'm saying that is that you catch your opponent a lot more off guard when you're in the right position to take at least 2 or 3 kills.
Yeah.
And you do that, and say for instance there's 2 of you on B side like we're seeing coming up here. If those 2 players, or the pair in B, takes down 4 players, let's see if it'll happen. Changes up the ball game. Nice little frag shot here. Oh, Gambit under a bit of pressure. Jamming through there.
Yeah,
Goes
this-
down. So right there, the pairs had the advantage, okay? Or the pair had the advantage, but they didn't support crossfire, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They didn't support play with each other. Nice little play here from Explicit, and there's still a good chance that DC will take this because they've got 3, it's a 3 on 3, and they've got more of a health advantage with armor.
But no kit to speak of, and Hellhound getting one, but so does Panda and MBR. Now it's all down to Hellhound. The man himself does well to avoid that flash, and he knows where the players are, but he doesn't have a kit, so he's got to work. He actually gets hit by the flash grenade, and that's very expensive round for DC.
Of course, but right there, APG did what DC was supposed to do.
Yeah.
The very defensive crossfire tactic. In pairing up in B side, that is the norm. If you don't do that, well, don't expect your B side to be all safe.
And we spoke about that coils position being a little bit predictable, and you get smoked off there 90% of the time. So interesting that he decided to adopt that coils position. Yeah, I'm not sure what made him do that. So 9-9 is the score at the moment. Full eco coming out from DC, and can't expect too much from them this round.
Yeah, look, they're obviously on an eco round now, so not much is going to come from it. We see a nice little frag here, though, from Explicit. Do we see a bit of an anti-eco? This might actually work, not an anti-eco, eco upset. So it really depends on how well DC sit back, wait for them to come in, and just pop them off one at a time.
Yeah. And
So MBR, or unfortunate for Hellhound, they're not looking on his left nor his right. Well, no, he did look on his right, and just got picked off quite easily there.
yeah, quite interesting. He decided to stay in dark room even though he got a kill there. Usually when you find a frag, you try and get out of there.
Yeah.
It's you've been called out. It's a predictable place. So interesting. He decided to stay there, but
No,
now it's
ball banging and spamming.
yeah, I know. But Gambit, he does well with the 5-7. He finds himself one, but MBR and Panda both chiming in and getting themselves a frag apiece. And the bomb, they don't have the bomb. Although Panda spots out a player, drops him down to 26 HP, and Is that Gambit? He's right at the bottom of the map, and he's going to try and tap them away, but he gets spotted out. I like what APG did there. They moved as a group to collect the bomb. They didn't send one player, they moved as a group, they got the bomb, and then they're moving as a group again. And
that's exactly what you're supposed to do.
yeah, exactly. That's what you should do.
Guard that bomb. Once it's yours, you know?
Yeah, so DC, M4 buy, smokes, flashes, grenades. This is where it all counts. If DC lose this round, I think they're in quite a precarious position.
It's their map to lose them.
Exactly.
Really,
exactly
because, I mean, if you're looking at the first half, the score was very much in DC's favour.
Yeah.
So, just if we look at the current buy setup here, I mean, APG's gone for 2 FAMASs, which is Turtle and Domster play the FAMAS rifle very well, so it's not too much of an issue. DC's gone for a full M4 A1S stack, and I think with the grenades and works like incendiaries and so forth, I think they might be looking on playing very defensive this round, by the looks of it, and it does seem so as well.
Yeah, and I that's what I want to see from DC. I want to see them sitting back, holding their angles. There's no need for them to get aggressive or get information. They've, even though it's 10-9, they're still not uncomfortable being on the CT side. But although, having said that, they have lost 4 rounds in a row now. So this buy round, like we've said at the beginning of the round, is very, very important. And APG have been loving this B sites, and now we see them executing onto the B side. Gambit's gonna have to come up again. He flashes himself through. Instant gets 1. Gambit gets 2 as well. And Turtle being dropped down to 24 HP. He finds himself in the smoke, but he does get 1. Style jumping through. He grabs it. So DC, this is their round.
Locking down very effectively. That's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
And I like the way that they do crossfire in that sort of case. It's just interesting to see that did not happen previously with them playing EB.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
cases, really.
the economy on the side of APG now getting a little bit not in so much in control anymore. It was looking quite good, but now that they lost the round, starting to deplete their resources. But if DC do lose this round, they've lost their round loss bonus, and that's going to be a very difficult thing for them to come back from. And 10-10 at the moment with DC on the CT side, you favour them from here on in.
Well, look, they did win the previous round, so they've equalised the scores. And I think we'll have to wait and see what DC's got up their sleeves. Specifically from a defensive point of view, they need to rotate and change the spots that they sit. It's going to become predictable. APG is going to be able to walk in and take rounds from them.
Yeah.
So it's really a case. I mean, pre-aiming and pre-firing has become such a standard in CSGO that you can't really have predictable areas anymore.
Yeah. What do you think about the setup from DC here? 3 players on A, 2 players on B, exactly the same as APG had. They should keep it, just the stock standard 3-2 setup.
Well, look at, there's a difference in the B setup here for DC. Quite a lot of grenades coming in towards the A side area. It does seem to me that Style is picking up a good couple.
Really interesting that APG decided all 3 of their players to run through the Molotov, which I don't understand, being on a buy round in particular. Hellhound in a great position here on the balcony, dropping down. He finds himself a frag, so 11-10. Okay.
It's a lead-taking shot then.
Yeah, that puts them back in the lead, where they were so familiar with being. And the economy on APG now, not great, but they're going to force out a buy. And if they lose this round, that's it. That's the last nail in the coffin. So APG need to pull out all the stops here.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say it's the last nail. Round 25 almost likely to be. When DC's 13-10 up, they'll almost likely be the last nail in the coffin.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, but if they lose this round, then they're 12-10 and they're ecoing, and that's 13-10. So basically, if they lose this round, theoretically they should. But instant now, he's been spotted out. Lloyd does find a frag. Gambit playing in his close position once again. He finds 1, but he can't adjust the spray fast enough, and he gets taken down. It's going to be a 3 versus 3 full HP retake from DC. Hellhound once again, he comes through construction. Oh, he just misses the shot there onto the Void, but he does find another one to Dom, who was in not the best of positions, and he gets another one onto the Void. So well played there by Hellhound. And now it's well up to NBR. He gets one. Can he find the second? No, he can't. Style gets the better of him this time, and Great play, great retake there by DC. Just looking so strong at the moment.
Nice little bit of communication there from DC. The one thing I've noticed about damage control setup in B is that they're very deep and very flat. Well, they're deep, but they're also very flat. So they don't sit backside deep or backstage deep. They're very flat up front. One of their players, Gambit loves to play that spot. And then you've got his partner Instant that sits very deep into the side. Good defending tactic, although there is a little bit of a flaw in that, which certain teams can pick up. I mean, throwing things, for instance, like Molotovs in the right place. Here's a bit of an aggressive stance from DC at the moment, kind of pushing out a little bit more out of the B side. That's obviously for information finding right now. But as we see APG moving in towards the A side area, it looks like they're going to be going in towards B. They are going to take on a couple of DC players. And this is going to prove problematic to them as we do see the bomb go down. Howland around the corner. Here we go. Turtle picks up one. Does he pick up a second?
Yeah.
Look at this. Some spam play here from Gambit. And, well, increasing DC's lead. That's exactly what they want to do.
That's so unfortunate for APG. They found themselves one frag, and there was only one person left on the A side. They didn't know that DC had stacked the B side with 3 players. And without that knowledge, they decided to wrap around through CT where there were 3 DC players waiting for them. So, unfortunate for APG. If they'd gone for the A side, you probably would have found it. They would have taken it, but that's how it goes. That's the luck of the draw. And this is a full buy round from APG. You said if they lose this round, that's it.
This is the final do or die.
Okay. And yeah, they've spread themselves out across the map. They're going to use the time. There's still 1 minute and 16 seconds to speak of. And yeah, I think they've been struggling at both sides, but I would love to see them try the A more. They are getting the bomb down on the A side. It's just a matter of them holding the site and explicit laying quite a late smoke down. They still have 4 smokes on the side of DC and 1 minute left. They can utilize those extremely well. And explicit, a beautiful pop flash into the apps there, and he finds the frag. And yeah,
very well spotted, that, eh?
Hey?
Very well spotted, actually.
Yeah.
Because coming to think of it, a lot of people don't notice about the amount of smokes that players have. And right at the end, when you're playing CTs and you got a lot of smokes, great. Just keep the T's at bay.
Exactly.
Force them to make mistakes. And that's exactly what DC are doing right now.
And take a look at the time. There's 30 seconds left on the clock. APG are being forced to have a rushed execution now onto the B side, where there's 3 DC players. They've read this so well already. Rotated 1 player out, going straight through Molotovs. And wow, they do well to find one of the Gambit. Can they get the one of the Instant? Dom trying to control his spray. He's not able to do it. Oh, finally he pulls out the Glock and he gets the frag. Is he going to go to save this? He knows that he won't be able to because there is 2 players coming through. Banana Styles can try and stop the flash. Is he able to cancel and get the frag? No, he's not. Style gets him. And that's your 14-10 score line, and that's a horrible economy for APG.
Yep.
Or okay, let me take that back. Sorry, yeah. Round loss bonus enables them to get another buyout.
Yeah, I didn't calculate that.
Yeah, sorry, I take that back. But DC, ever since they've won these 4 rounds in a row, they've just been looking very, very dominant.
I like seeing Hellhound on
5
the top
rounds in a row. Sorry.
Yeah,
Hellhound and Gambit both doing extremely well.
Hellhound hasn't been on top of the scoreboard for quite some time, and he's producing a decent amount of kills. You know,
yeah,
good performance. Yeah.
Right
now, APG though,
standing down,
getting 2 kills. It's good for them. Yeah, they're obviously trying to bounce back from this, going for the 3rd one. So now the A side's open for them. No rotation happening from DC.
Oh, but look at the bombs going.
Look at this. This is problematic. Uh-oh.
Why?
And that is the bomb that's down in the banana. So now there's a problem here. APG, well, they need to fight their way to try and get to this bomb. And look at this. I mean, for instance, Instant is just buying time. Molly's going down. He's going to try and peek and go for the shot. Oh, needs to be careful. Oh, he's so lucky.
Yeah, I'm really... I question that play there. Now it's all up to Hellhound, the man you just called out to try and touch this round. 1 versus 2, he gets 1. Can he find the second? Of course he can. Hellhound, that's the Hellhound we know. Clutching it 1 versus 2. And I have the question begs, why did APG decide to rotate B when they had got all the frags on the A side?
Look, that is the ideal. Look, it's not their fault, okay? The reason why I'm saying it's not their fault is because DC, the expected rotation to be taken in that situation.
Yes, yeah.
Just having a look here, we're seeing Domster there picking up a kill against Gambit. Good start here for APG, but the expected rotation would be from B through the back end into A,
Yeah.
not through Banana. So they obviously, they gambled a little bit there, and I think it was a good gamble. It just didn't pay off well.
And you'll probably find that the DC players were opting to save and they were going to move their way through Banana into T-Spawn, but just so it happened that they got a Christmas present and they found 2 APG players with their
Christmas
pants down. Yeah, early Christmas presents. And have a look at DC here. They've opted to keep one player, Hellhound, on this B side, but I mean, he's having a crazy game at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if he could hold this by himself. And this is where the pushes. DC have read this so well. They've rotated a player out, and they've got 3 players on the A side. Style with that AWP, he finds himself one. Can he get anything more? He is going to be able to find him on the cross. Is it a double lineup? No, he only just misses the double, but he does find another frag. 3 versus 4 now, explicit from this pit position. He gets one. Panda does find one into Instant. Hellhound sticking on this B side, so it's a 2 versus 2 on the A side. But APG, oh wow, Dom's actually doing really well. That's going to allow them to get the bomb down, and this is APG's last shot. They really need to get this round. Of course, if they get it, if they lose it, they lose the first map, and Hellhound and Style try and retake in a 2 versus 2. Both of the APG players notably are sitting on site at the moment. That Molotov's going to be big. Dom's sticking now. It is all up to him in a 1 versus 1. He's already found 3 this round. Can he close on? He jumps to get information, and he gets the kill. Beautiful play there by Domster, finding himself a 4K in the round and keeping APG's heads above the water.
So now we see a pickup on the AWP on APG's side. So Panda's going to take it, which I want to see how he actually performs at the AWP. I haven't seen him play in a while. It looks like a
bit of Go TV bug there.
Yeah, we had a bit of a lag spike there, which is young man. But right now, let's see what Panda can do with the AWP. I mean, no real mid play coming in from DC at the moment. DC just kind of locking it back, playing it deep and flat side, and then of course on A side their general positions. In very decent positions, in my opinion. Good covering, good cross firing, etc. Something that I didn't see that often with APG. And I think that's the fundamental difference. This DC having 15 points and APG having 11.
If you can't really say this, but if you say APG started on T side and DC started on CT side, that means that the current score is 6-5 in favor of APG on the T side.
Well, of course. Look,
so,
it's still...
It'll 5-6 in favor of DC, sorry. And APG are looking very strong then, if that's the case. But because they started CT and they had such a lackluster CT side, they're on the shorter end of the stick now. And we see APG getting ready to set up for an A execute where 3 DC players wait for us and take it away.
Yep, this is going to be interesting. A-side breach coming into effect here for... And we see Must taking the first blood of the round. Nice little play here from Explicit. He's going to go for the double, but gets the support from Style as he goes down. A little bit of sneakiness there from APG. Style picks up another one now. So Style, right now, will take the last kill, and that is good play for DC.
That's the first map. Yeah, first map 16-11 in favor of DC. I did say that I think DC would take the first map, considering that it was Inferno, but I said Cash and I stuck my neck out there. I said Cash and Dust 2 are going to go to APG, and it'll be interesting to see how that actually goes. So well done to DC taking that first map 16-11 and expected, you have to say, especially after such a strong T-half.
So basically, coming to consider that the next map, right? Cash. Cash is going to be an interesting one. I think it's my personal opinion. I think DC will take it as well, just because they got the level of experience compared to that's slightly more experience compared to APG. APG. I've always seen Dust 2 as their map. Okay. You know, they've always been strong on that map. And so many people have disagreed with me, and when we would sit down in the cast, I'd say APG is going to beat them on Dust 2. My co-cast would tell me, no, never going to happen. I'm like, okay, fine. No, that's fine. Let's watch again. So then we watch again, and APG beats them Dust 2. So this is a problem for DC. Okay? Yeah. If DC loses on Cash, they will lose this match. Yeah. APG will wreck them. Simple. They will.
No
They
holding back
have-
on that statement.
No,
Eh?
I'm serious. APG. Before APG, they were known as Pixel Massacre.
Yeah.
Pixel Massacre. Back in the time when I was playing against Pixel Massacre,
Yeah.
always have been strong on Dust
Yeah.
2. And with guys like Jin playing at that time.
Yeah.
Those guys, they were, they were phenomenal in Dust 2.
Yeah.
So, hangs in the balance.
Yeah, well-
DC is strong on cash, definitely.
DC are strong on cash, and that's a historical thing and statistical thing for them. They go back on cash a long way, and I think we actually
You're
have a
right.
really closely contested game here on cash between these two. And like I said earlier, you say DC is going to take cash. We both agreed DC would take Inferno. I'm going to go against you on this one. I'm going to say I think APG may just pull through on cash here, but DC, the way how strong they looked on that first map, I actually wouldn't be so surprised to see them steamroll through the second map.
Yeah. Well, look. Yeah, it's look. If DC get on the right foot, they win their pistol round. Something that they don't do often.
Oh, fair enough.
If
yeah.
they win their pistol round, they will be able to beat. They'll be able to beat APG on cash. It's a given. The reason why I'm saying it is that DC have got this ability on when winning the pistol round to snowball, pick up 5-6 rounds, and then maybe lose 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But that puts them at such an advantage already.
Well, let's chat for a second about the roster change. Neffen was in, and I believe he was also calling for DC. Then Neffen left, and he became a part of the Energy roster. And now Inson has come in, who's a historical player for DC. I believe he only has something like 130 hours in Counter-Strike Go. Now he's been dropped in the deep end here, 2 months before Rage. That's obviously the end goal in mind at the moment. And what do you think of this DC roster minus Neffen plus Inson?
Always played with Inson. They know each other very well, even though they haven't played together for, say, 2 years.
Yeah.
He will be able to fill into that slot, know exactly what to do, and DC will be able to accommodate that.
Yeah.
So we've just had a little request from one of the viewers there to actually take one of the cameras and point it at the crowd. I don't know if our production or producer can do that. So we've got one of the cameras actually facing at the panel, but I think we're going to be using the panel a little bit more actively later on this evening.
When you get some more closely contested games, when you get those Energy, Bravado, Ventus,
Yes.
and at the moment, I mean, let's chat a little bit about the LAN while we take a look here.
It's stabilized.
The LAN is stabilized. Touch wood, quickly, cool. It's a good LAN. All LANs have their difficulties and stuff like that, but I love LAN. I think it's great. People always complain online, your lag, people using configs, excuses behind the computer, but here in person, you shake their hands after the game, and I love it. So very, very cool. And
Just having a quick look here. There we go. Our producer, Kumsoon, coming in. Just to let you guys know, actually, Kumsoon is running all our in-game views, etc., scoreboards, all of that stuff. So the two lucky casters, myself and you, actually get to just sit here and view the game and actually comment on it a little bit better, because it is a little bit tough as a co-caster or caster having to control the entire game.
Yeah.
Yes, it's better, but I think it's nice to have a producer to be able to handle the basics, and for us to give a little bit more commentary is always great.
So how it should be. And that just, as much as the South African gaming and Counter-Strike gaming is taking off, it's also a turn for casting in South Africa. So it's great, and we're slowly climbing the stairs, and eventually, hopefully in years to come, South Africa will be contesting with the rest of the world in a game like Counter-Strike Go.
Yeah, well, just whilst we have a little bit of time here, I just want to thank all the sponsors here: SteelSeries, Forge Gaming Network, Corix, The Division, Matrix, MSI, NAG, and Empress Palace, and then of course the team at Nav TV that have put in a lot of effort for this competition, just to make sure that this competition runs okay. I mean, there's been power issues, there's been networking issues. We've gone all the way of having boiled WAM Guys, like, we have to give
Yeah.
Wham credit here. The guy came up from PE to come and cast. He has not casted a single game because he's been solely stuck at administering this event to make sure that the teams at least get through their games. And a lot of respect goes out to him. A lot of thank you goes out to the Axe Cap guys going beyond to try and assist where possible. You know, the sponsors as well, they can understand the difficulties that has happened here. However, well, the show must go on. And I think, you know, we've done right. So, let's have a quick look here. If all the players have actually joined, we did see the DC guys pass us a couple of minutes ago.
Are we going to have an advert before we start?
Yeah, I think let's just run an ad or two, and then we'll then pop into the game once both teams have joined the server.
We'll be right back.